start the second half of play. Notre Dame leading Michigan 14-7.
Highlights: Notre Dame scored first. Ron Paulus with a nice throw and a nice acrobatic move and catch by Bobby Brown. Michigan comes right back on the next drive. Clarence Williams getting into the end zone and then driving easily puts Notre Dame up by 7. Take a look at the numbers here. Number of plays, Notre Dame has it 39-22 for Michigan. In time of possession, what Notre Dame wanted coming in, they have it almost 8 minutes more than Michigan. Total yardage, 225 yards for the Irish, only 110 for the Wolverines.
With sheet music littering the left side of the field as a result of the band performance at halftime, Notre Dame will kick off to Michigan. Michigan won the opening toss and elected to receive the second half. It's a high short kick, and it's taken at the 16-yard line by Clarence Williams. And Williams bursts out of the pack and comes out to a first down at the 44-yard line, and here's Lynn Swann.
Thank you, Keith. I talked to both Lloyd Carr and Bob Davie at halftime. In the Michigan offense, he said, Lloyd Carr said, has to make the big play. We've got to find a way to spring someone open to make something happen for us offensively. And Bob Davie said our success in the first half is based on the fact that our defense has been able to stop the Michigan run. He said we want them to continue playing the same way. We're not going to change a thing, Keith.
Look for Michigan to come out throwing in the second half, Keith.
From the 44-yard line, there are 3 wideouts, and on first down, go to the air, to the sidelines to Ty Street. White shirts all over the place, but Street is still able to scoop down the sidelines close to the 40 and pick up a first down on the first play. Deke Cooper knocked him out of bounds.
Bryan in the first half was 7 of 9 and 71 yards. They had the ball 4 times, Michigan did. Only 4 possessions for Michigan in the first half. They scored on 1 and punted on the other 3.
Put it on the 41 for the first down. Chris Floyd, the single back. Ty Street down the middle, running for the corner. Touchdown. So, start at the 44 on a good kickoff return by Williams. 2 passes, 41 yards, the second one, and they've got a chance to tie it up. The size of Ty Street beat Allen Lawson. Touchdown play. The point is good, and we've only used 24 seconds of the third quarter.
Whoever did the halftime talk, they ought to can it for Michigan because it was awful good.
14-14 tie. Ty Street's first touchdown since the Ohio State game a year ago.
Take a look. This is going to be a great throw by Bryan. He's going to get hit and gets the ball out in front. Streets makes a great catch. Rossum, a darn good defensive back, right there, and he just outruns the secondary. Somebody needed to make a play, and Greasy and Streets did it.
Michigan will kick off now, and the crowd is back in the ball game. Tony Driver is the deep man for Notre Dame. And he watches it go through the end zone. So Feely killed it, and the Irish will start first down at the 20. Here's 20.
Well, Keith, going back to the coach's comments as Notre Dame has the ball on offense, Davie was very, very happy about his offense controlling the line. He says the big thing is we've been able to get big plays to our wide receiver, and that did not go unnoticed with Lloyd Carr. He was very disappointed with his safeties, the way the safeties and corners allowing the receivers to get back deep. And he says we've got to regroup defensively, stop missing so many tackles, and tighten up across the board, Keith.
Ron Paulus brings the Irish to the line. Suddenly the old house is alive as Bobby Brown goes in motion. And the ball is handed off. Poor tackle in the backfield. And Denson, who could have been taken down for a 2-yard loss, ran right through the arms of the Michigan tackler, Josh Williams.
They said they wanted to make it Big Ten football, and look at him running right up the middle, gaining over 70 yards and 15 carries. They're not getting much running right or left, but Notre Dame controlling the ball, running it right at that Michigan defensive line.
Rob Rennis, the nose guard, just off the right shoulder of Kaczynski, the center. He pops on through the middle, but the ball is dumped off to the outside to Denson, and a penalty flag goes down as Denson is stopped. Let's see about the penalty. Sam Sword getting his 9th tackle of the ball game. It's a hold, and it's against Notre Dame.
Keith, instead of 3rd and about 2 or 3, it's going to be like 2nd and 12 or 15. And that's a huge difference. Ron Paulus in the first half was 11 of 14, 138 yards and a touchdown. And that offensive line was dominant. The reason they controlled the clock and had the number of plays that they did was because of the play of the offensive line and the play of Ron Paulus.
The center, Kaczynski, Wisney, Pettigrew to the right, Rosenthal, Dowdy to the left. The tight end primarily has been Tim Ritter, a 295, 97-pound tight end who's really a tackle. He's as big as a tree. Wallace hands the ball off to Barry. And Barry, who had one big run in the first half, on 2nd down and 14, slams the ball out to about the 21-yard line. You got to go to the 30 now to get the first down. So it is 3rd and a long 8.
A lot of experience in that offensive line for Notre Dame, and a lot of young guys in the Michigan defensive line.
Back, dumps it off, got a shot at the first down as Denson cuts back upfield, and he's close. Looks like he's got it. Penalty flag is thrown at the 26-yard line. It's against Notre Dame. Shot clock.
Bob Davie cannot believe it. He almost overcame the first holding penalty, and now you're going to get a block for blocking below the waist.
Shot block on the offense, half the distance from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 3rd down.
At 3rd down and 17, mind you.
Just be careful and don't turn it over now. Offensively, you don't want to make a mistake.
Ball is on the 13-yard line.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5 yards, repeat.
A quick
3rd down.
touchdown by Michigan, and now Notre Dame needs to find some poise. They're starting to come apart here under this.
Going in at halftime, Notre Dame had all the momentum, all the confidence coming out. I think they had it, but Michigan kind of got it back very quickly.
I'm not sure everybody knows where they want to go here. They give the ball to Denson. He cut through the middle and looked like for a moment he might pop out of there, but Adrian Taylor came from the secondary to make the tackle on him at about the 14-yard line. And Notre Dame now will have to punt the ball away.
Ron Collis doing a lot of checking off at the line of scrimmage, Keith. He's up there, he sees it, he saw that they were set up for the pass. He didn't want to take a chance on making a mistake.
So Hunter Smith, whose last kick was a 53-yarder, needs another big one here as Charles Woodson stands back around the 40 waiting for it. He'll hit it about the 10-yard line.
Balls away, balls away.
Didn't get all of it. Woodson's got a chance. Almost did it. Almost did it.
But great field position for the Wolverines starting the second series.
Joe Ferrer brought him down. Otherwise, he might still be running.
One of the things that Bobby Morrison, the special teams coach, said yesterday that he wanted to do is hold the Irish up at the line of scrimmage on punt returns to give Woodson a little bit more time. Hold the Flyers up on the outside. There, Michigan has two men blocking the guy going down. Now, watch this little area for Woodson right here in the middle. He's got some room in there. In the previous two games, they have not been holding up the punting team from getting down. They held him up and gave him a little bit of room there.
So let's see if they still have the offensive spark. The best starting position of the ball game from the 42-yard line for Williams. And Williams will pick up 9 yards. Corey Minor got the first hit on him outside.
Talking to Mike DeBoard yesterday, Keith, he says, I know Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, and I know he's going to try and stop our run and force us to throw. There's Greg. Coming out the second half, that's what Michigan has gone to, the pass.
3 yards, ball to 33.
Chris Floyd, that's a first down at the 30.
Ryan is 10 of 12, 136 yards and a touchdown. Both these quarterbacks here today, Keith, very bright, intelligent, fifth-year seniors. They know what's going on. They're not going to get rattled at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on first down, behind Streets. Streets was available. The defender had fallen down, and the ball was thrown behind him.
Yeah, Brian was looking to the left, trying to look the safety over to keep him away from Streets, and just threw the ball behind him. There's a look from behind the defense. Watch as Brian's going to look to our right side and then come back and throw to the left, trying to move people around with his eyes.
Streets had 6 there, maybe.
Out in front of him, he would have.
Passes away, pass caught by Floyd. And that's a gain of about 3 yards, and that's all. 10 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the third quarter, second down and 10. And next week, we'll go to Tallahassee, Florida to start the day. Miami and Florida State. That's the neighborhood battle. And then at 3:30 Eastern, you've got regional coverage following Florida and State and Miami. Iowa, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Stanford, Texas A&M, and Colorado. Check your local listing. Third down and 8.
Blitz here.
First down. Carried the ball to the 17-yard line.
Notre Dame's coming after him. Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator, has got the linebackers coming. The halfback's going to come from this side, so it's going to be an easy read for Brian. He sees the linebackers, everybody's picked, just dumps it over the line. Good blocking by the receiver.
The big freshman back Thomas is in there, 227 pounds. Had 122 yards against Baylor last week. Has the ball here. And pounds across the 15 down close to the 13. Michigan trying to untie it right here.
Talking to Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator, he says, I have mixed feelings coming back. He says he's got a lot of friends, not only on the team, but in the city. Recruited for this area for a long time, but said he'd have mixed emotions coming back.
2nd down and 7. Floyd. He's got a touchdown. Anthony Thomas and Russell Shaw through the blocks. That got him in. So Charles Woodson gives them field position at the 43, and they stick it in the end zone to take the lead for the first time today. Greg Baker for the extra point. He hooked it, but he got it.
We've been talking about Jermaine Tooman receiving. Watch the block he gets here, and then Backus is going to come around and get the block on the outside. Hutchinson is 76. He gets out there. Thomas, 32, gets a block. And Shaw, number 4. Here's a look at Tooman.
They could have flagged Shaw for holding.
Right there, he left end. Well, Tooman got a little jersey also.
Yep. Watch 4 over here. He gets a handful. But it's 21-14 Michigan now. The Wolverines in front for the very first time. 7 plays, 42 yards. A minute and 45 seconds, and it was Floyd who took it in from 14 yards.
We got to get with Lloyd Carr and ask him for that halftime talk. Whatever he said, 2 touchdowns in Michigan's first 2 drives starting the 3rd quarter.
Maybe he said, the rest of the season, you guys are riding the bus. 106,508. That's your crowd. 106,508. That's the 6th largest in Michigan Stadium history. The kick goes through the end zone, and they'll come out to the 20 for the Irish. Our Marriott moment is from the 1989 meeting between these two teams. Michigan had pulled within 5 of the Irish in the 4th quarter, and lightning struck for the 2nd time. From the 9, here he comes. Rocket to the 30. Here he goes. Goodbye. Touchdown, Notre Dame. No flag. First down from the 20, and again being very patient with the cadence along the line of scrimmage to still the linebackers. They try the middle, and look at this. They had a hold of him, and suddenly Barry just waited for a half a breath. They turned him loose, and he wound up picking up a little yardage.
Well, now the challenge goes over to the Notre Dame offense and to Ron Paulus to come right back and get a touchdown. This is stuffed inside. 79 is Rosenthal, but that middle of the defensive line shutting down that offensive line that had been moving them around in the first half.
Josh Steele was the man that Glenn Steele that blocked his legs, but he still got almost 5 yards. This is Denton, and Denson, as a penalty flag comes down, Denson will pick up nothing, and the referee threw the flag. It's holding Notre Dame. So the crowd of 106,508. The average ticket price is $32 a pop. That math's too big for me.
It's another penalty and a major one. Check right here as the defensive man slants to the inside. I think the offensive guard's going to grab him right there. Now the umpire is right there looking at it. That umpire, he's not watching the game, Keith. He's not watching how pretty the quarterbacks look when they throw the ball. He's looking in the pits there where it's a war every play.
Turns out to be a 13-yard penalty. It'll make it 2nd down and 18 now. The ball is back on the 12. And the Irish spend a timeout.
Didn't have any time left on the clock.
So they have not been as poised and confident here in the early going of the 3rd quarter. Of college football brought to you by Jeep, makers of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler. By Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. By Chili's Grill and Bar, home of the Big Mouth Burgers. And by Circuit City, answers in every department, low prices all over the store. From up there, the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes providing the picture, thanks to Captain Dick Ash and his crew for their usual spectacular work. Ball is on the 12-yard line, 2nd down and 18 with 8:13 to play in the 3rd quarter. Michigan leading Notre Dame now, 21-14. Back to throw. Lets it go to the sidelines, and it is incomplete, intended for Autry Denson. Marcus Ray was all over him. And Charles Woodson had come to help just in case.
They had a receiver open in the middle of the field too, Keith, that they didn't see. Charles Woodson can cover just about anybody that you put out there. Look from behind the goalpost. Check out the protection. Ron's drifting a little bit left, and it just throws it away. But if he would have looked to the inside, now the reason they don't look inside, because that guy is never the primary or the secondary receiver.
3rd and 18. 3 wideouts, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Dump it off quickly to Denson coming out of the backfield, picking his way up the sideline. And he gets up across the 20 and to about the 25, but that's going to be short of the 1st down. So it'll be 4th and about 5.
Big change for Bob Davies' Irish offensive team coming out. The first 2 possessions, 3 plays and punt. In the first half, they had it for 5 possessions, and they ball controlled it all the way down.
So Hunter Smith will have his 102nd career punt. Right here, it'll be his 5th of the day. Pretty good day. 37 the short, 53 the long. That's a low line drive, but it's got some air under it, and it's going deep. Woodson runs it down all the way back to the 14-yard line, coming around the corner looking for help. And comes back up to about the 25, 26-yard line.
Great punt. Huge.
57-yard, 9-yard return. Here's 20.
Well, Keith, if you ask me who I'd vote for right now for the best player in college football, it might just be Charles Woodson. You know, he has such an impact in this ball game. Look at the numbers for Ron Powlus throwing the football. He's thrown 18. He's completed 14, but only twice has he gone at Woodson's side. Now, when you get down to the end of the year, he may be the greatest player in college football with the worst-looking numbers because no one is going to challenge him, Keith.
Won't have any interceptions, and everybody else that they throw at will have a lot of them, right, Len?
1st down from the 26. Jeremy Truman had to look back into a very bright sun. And I don't know that he saw it. It didn't look like he did.
Hey, Bob, you're absolutely correct. At the end of the season, he'll have very few interceptions because they don't challenge him. And I'm not saying he's a guy who's going to win the top award in the country. But you know what? If you've got to vote for the best player, you have to really look at football and not just vote for the numbers. Vote for the impact.
You're singing.
If it were only true.
He's singing to the choir, isn't he?
Yes. I've heard that song before. He knows as well as you and I do that that doesn't happen. They don't always vote for the best player. Ball is out to the 40-yard line and a 1st down. And I'm beginning to think now that old Mo has put on a different colored shirt.
Well, whatever they talked about Michigan at halftime, it's working because the offense and Chris Floyd, that was the same play he scored the touchdown on, Chris, and Mike DeBoer says, well, if it's working, let's go back to it. And they did.
So on the 40, it's a 1st down with 7:11 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Greasy keeps it and rolls out. Gets his ball off to Floyd. Floyd is at the marker and has a first down.
He's a tough kid.
He is 231 pounds, a senior out of Detroit.
Stan Parrish and DeVord and those guys, they were telling it, tough guy. Here's a play we drew up a little earlier. They have this play. They fake it. Bryant comes on the bootleg. Here's Floyd right here. He's going to sneak out. The other option is the tight end coming deep. This is the play they've ran successfully the last couple of times. They scored a touchdown on it. Now this time they slip him out into the flat.
Chris Howard is taken down for a loss of a yard. So the ball comes back near midfield. It'll be second down 11. The crowd of 106,508, you multiply that. Well, of course, figure there's 508 freeloaders, right? So maybe there's 1,000 freeloaders. But whatever you figure out about the number of people who didn't buy tickets, you got a $3 million gate.
I figured you were rounding that off to some round number so you can multiply it out. And
Mark did it with his computer.
There you go. I knew you didn't do that in your head.
Second down 11. Greasy's hit as he throws, and it's just beyond the reaching fingers of Charles Woodson, who had slipped in there at the wide receiver position. And Greasy took the hit from Corey Minor, who blitzed on the play.
Minor's going to come in, and if Bryant has a little more time, he may have been able to put this on the money.
He was available.
Woodson's just going to go straight up the field, and with a little bit more time, we don't know.
Third and 11. Out of the shotgun.
Here they come again.
And it's off the hands of Clarence Williams. Williams coming down the middle inside. Couldn't reel it in. And so Michigan now will have to punt it away.
That was a zone blitz, Keith. That was Notre Dame and Greg Madison going to blitzing the outside linebackers and dropping some of the linemen off into coverage.
Got to change your tactics when things start going against you. And they were definitely rolling there for a time for the Wolverines. Exactly 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Punt is high. Down to the 14-yard line where a fair catch is called by Autry Denson. Monday Night Football, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football has San Francisco 3-1 at Carolina 2-2. It'll be Carolina's first appearance on Monday Night Football. 49ers in first place in the NFC West. Steve Young back healthy. Kerry Collins is back healthy as well for the Carolina Panthers. Been a tough season on quarterback so far.
It really has, Keith. A lot of them have been out, and I don't know about Steve Young with all those concussions. I just hope that he's doing the right thing.
So first down for Notre Dame from their own 14-yard line. The offense has been pretty quiet here in the third quarter. Wallace still got it, rolls it, and throws it to the sidelines, and the ball is caught at the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of about 6 yards. Malcolm Johnson.
There's a look from behind the offense. Little play action to Denson. Very similar to what play the Michigan Wolverines have run.
They put it right on the 25, right on the 20 rather, and to make it a 6-yard pickup. Second down and 4 coming up.
Both quarterbacks doing a nice job of staying positive and moving the club.
That's Denson. And he's got a first down as he gets up to the 26-yard line. Brought down by Sam Sword, and I got that figured as Sam's 10th tackle of the game.
Yeah, he's been involved in quite a few. It almost seems like he's been involved in more. 10 penalties for Notre Dame to this point, Keith, and only 2 for Michigan. Some of those on the last drive really hurt the Irish.
Denson slips and falls at the 25, losing a yard. He was looking to cut back. and Plant couldn't get a grip. Notre Dame does not have a healthy big back to hammer on you like a Jerome Bettis or Mark Edwards.
Well, the biggest back they got is that driver. And he you know, and you just don't put a true freshman in, Keith, because he doesn't know the whole offense. For instance, he knows when he carries the ball where to go, but when he doesn't carry it, he may not know which blitzing linebacker to pick up. He may get your quarterback hurt.
Double wide to the bottom of your picture. Wallace looks the other way and goes the other way and completes it to Malcolm Johnson for a first down.
Nice read by Ron and a good throw. Trying to fire his guys up. Woodson is on the opposite side of where he's throwing. This is, look at the coverage. A little jersey in there. He's got single coverage to his left. Now watch him as he's reading. Get open, get open, get open. I got some time now. Good separation, good patience, and good protection.
Malcolm Johnson's caught 6 balls for 99 yards. Tony Driver's in at tailback, replacing a limping Autry Denson. First down, Notre Dame, 48-yard line. Driver with the ball, hit right about the line of scrimmage by Clint Copenhaver, number 43. He's been running all day, and this is the first time he really got his man, because they've been picking him off all day long, but he won't quit.
The defensive team, the front seven for Michigan, are quick and fast, Keith, but they're not necessarily big. That's what Notre Dame was doing in the first half, running right at him.
Denson is back at tailback. Wallace back. Pumps it. Now throws it to the sidelines, and it's out of bounds, or is it good? They give him the catch. It is Rockhi Nelson. At 1 foot in, that's all you need in college football.
But Ron did a nice job here. Almost all of the receptions today, Keith, have gone to the wide receivers for the Irish. Just 1 foot in bounds. The official right there in position to make the call.
That's Woodson's side of the field. He got away from Woodson and Marcus Ray. 3rd and 2. And it is not going to work. Marcus Ray makes the play on Autry Denson. I mean, he had him right on the number.
There's a motion man coming in here. Watches Ray's going to see him, and as soon as he catches it, gets up and forces it. Well, I had the right defensive guy, the wrong offensive guy, but the thought is there. Nice, sure tackle by Marcus Ray.
And on 4th and 2, they'll punt. Punt number 6 on the day for Smith. Low line drive that Woodson lets go and into the end zone and out, and it'll come out to the 20. And so that's where they'll start after a 54-yard punt and about 20 of it on a roll. After the ball game, we'll pick Chevrolet's most valuable player from each team. Chevrolet awarding to date over $6.5 million to the scholarship funds of the colleges and universities across the country. 2 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. On first down, Williams out of Detroit, number 33, 5 yards, maybe just a little more. Williams, a very good receiver out of the backfield, but has not been very effective in that today.
77 is Williams. Tubman blocking on tight end. He's blocking on Bryant. 53. Bryant does a nice job. Throws the tight end out of the way. Sticks his leg out. Blocks up the hole. Watch this, Bryant. not going to go down very easily, is he?
Second down and 4. Howard. Chris Howard picks his way through the traffic and gets it out to the 35-yard line for a first down. Michigan is leading 21-14 with a minute and a half to play in the third quarter. And number 44 for the Irish, Grant Irons, gets up very tenderly. Is brought down by Ronnie Nix.
Nix just in the ball game to take the place of Grant Irons, who went out. Nix is an ex-defensive back who kind of grew out of that position. See a lot of that in college football today, Keith. The defensive backs with speed, moving up to linebacker.
Aaron Shea has come in at tight end now for Michigan. Mark Campbell has come up. Ryan Gracie throws down the middle. The pass is right on the marker for a first down to Aaron Shea, who just came in at tight end. The Michigan tight ends are Tuman 249, Shea 249, and Campbell 253.
It's a play we showed you a little bit earlier. Going to fake the bootleg and come out here. Shea right here is going to come across and get the play. This is something that's tough to cover, Keith, because they run the play so often. And then they come back and fake the play action, bootleg it, and the tight end dragging across.
32, Anthony Thomas in the backfield. There's the deep man. He's got the ball. He was hit right at the line of scrimmage, but he's a 227, 28-pounder, and he just sort of bowled Melvin Danby over and made something out of nothing. And we come to the final tick of the third quarter of play. So after 3, it's Michigan 21 and Notre Dame 14. The game turned in the third quarter. What did it, Bob?
The opening drive of the third quarter, when Michigan came out, they had good field position, and the pass from Greasy to Streets broke it. Notre Dame took the ball, couldn't do anything. Michigan got it right back and went back down again. And I think what did it, Keith, was Michigan defensively stopping the run and getting the ball back for their offense.
Yeah, they've not had 8-9 play possessions in the third quarter. Let's see about the fourth. It's 21-14. And Greasy rolls it out. Second down and 8. Steps away, down throws, and good catch by Aaron Shea.
Fumble.
Turned the ball over to Notre Dame. So Shea trying to make something with it after making a great catch at the line of scrimmage. Had the ball come out. Lamont Bryant is the man, looked like to me, covered it.
Trying the same play. Bryant does a nice job of forcing Bryant to step up. Shea makes a great catch and then gets hit from behind by Nix, number 34. Big turnover, the first turnover of the game.
So let's see if the Irish now can stem the tide and make the river run uphill from the 47-yard line. First down, Notre Dame, the Michigan 47. Wallace on first down, wants to go big and does. Woodson's over there. Penalty flag thrown on Charles Woodson. Now, he had to have contact. You can face guard in college football. There's another penalty flag, however, back up at the 45-yard line beyond the line of scrimmage, and I think that one was thrown by the referee.
It's usually where holding is called. Just a look at what Bobby Brown on Woodson. Yeah, he's got him. Had his hand on him and pushing. once he's by you, you cannot jam him and touch him. He's by you. You can't put your hands on him once he's by you. But that's going to come back because it was offsetting. I believe there was holding in the backfield.
Holding in the backfield on Notre Dame, and pass interference on Michigan. Offsetting penalties, and they'll redo it. And I think that was a break for the Wolverines. Ball is on the 47. Jamie Spencer is the fullback. We got contact.
Tip ball, offside on the defense. 5 yards, first down.
Mistake, Michigan. Here's John Saunders.
Keith, BYU and SMU into overtime. SMU kicked the field goal to go up by 3, but then Brian McKenzie from the 15 goes the distance for the touchdown, and in overtime, BYU wins it. Keith, back to you.
First and 5 from the 42 of Michigan. We're in the fourth quarter now, and it's Tony Driver, the deep back for the Irish. Option. Paulus to Driver. He's got some room. And where did he step out? Not until he had passed the marker and picked up a first down. So he lopes along deceptively fast and moved the chains for the Irish to the 36 of Michigan.
Second time they ran the option, and both times they ran it to the right side, taking a lot of time with the line of scrimmage, wanting to take the time, as much time off the clock as they can.
It's Driver, and hit hard by Josh Williams. Last time Josh had a Notre Dame runner in his arms, he ran out of his arms. This time he nailed him.
Here's the battle in the pits right here. This is a war in here. Rosenthal gets knocked off his man. That's Williams is 91 and all the rest of them.
2nd and 9 from the 35. Goes down the middle, it's tipped in the air, and it is incomplete. Tipped by Eric Mays, a dropping linebacker, but he didn't get it high enough in the air so that somebody would have a shot at intercepting. So it is 3rd and 9.
Let's take a look from behind the defense. Wallace trying to look off number 41 and then trying to throw over number 26, Mays, the linebacker.
Wallace has his man down the middle. That's Rakai Nelson. And Nelson will have a first down inside the 20. So again, Paulus has time, and when you have that much time, I don't care how good your secondary is, a good quarterback will meet him up.
Well, what they've done is they've hit this route all day long, Keith, and it's a crossing route by a wide receiver. Here's Nelson. He's just going to come all the way across the field, and Ron's going to let the other receivers clear downfield. It's man-to-man coverage on Whitley. Whitley, number 5, had the coverage.
To the sideline. Pass complete to Malcolm Johnson. He's far and away Notre Dame's leading receiver on the day.
He's caught 7, Keith, for 106 yards. Look at from behind the defense. Both teams using this bootleg. Nice strong arm by Ron. Going to the wide receivers a lot.
2nd and 3. Long 3. Ball is inside the 15 at the 13. And Driver tripped behind the line of scrimmage by Eric Mays, and I think Paulus either went the wrong way or Driver was in the wrong place.
No. The 5th-year senior quarterback's not going to go the wrong way. The freshman running back is going the wrong way. You can bet the house on that. Telling me a 5th-year senior leader of this team goes the wrong way. That guy hasn't been on campus more than 2 months.
3rd down and 1 for Notre Dame at very close to the Michigan 10-yard line. And they call time. 12 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the ball game. 21-14 Michigan. Notre Dame getting in position to try to tie it. Notre Dame is trying to cash in a Michigan turnover. They have the ball. 3rd down and 1, just short of the Michigan 10-yard line. The freshman Driver stays in at tailback. Autry Denson went out dinged up. He limped off the field. May be pretty stiff right now. Jamie Spencer's the fullback. And again, Wallace has taken a lot of time. Driver. There's your 1st down. 1st and goal at the 6. Spencer through the block to get him through there. Spencer, the big fullback. Dragging a sore leg, but getting better weekly.
From behind the defense, it's going to go to our right. Pettigrew and Wisney and Spencer, the 3 blocking men ahead of the big tailback, and Bob Davie likes what he sees.
1st down and goal, Notre Dame at the Michigan 6. Driver at the line of scrimmage. Josh Williams, the first man to get in there. Sword and Copenhagen come to help. But it was Big Josh, number 91.
Watch the pit. Now 91 right there, reaching out and grabbing him. That's Josh Williams. That is a battle in there in that line, I want to tell you.
2nd down and goal. The 4. Sam Sword for Michigan.
The reason Driver is in there, Keith, the freshman, instead of Autry Denson, is that he's bigger, 6'2" and 200, rather than Denson, only 5'10" and 190. So they need the power back in there to get the tough yardage.
14 tackles now for Sword. Spencer is the single back. 3rd and goal for the Irish at the Michigan 4. And Paulus throws. Penalty flag. Pass is incomplete. There's a flag in the end zone. Against Michigan.
Delay of game on the offense.
No.
5 yards.
Thought the indication originally was against the Wolverines, but they burned the clock. Well, I'll tell you what. That'll make supper taste bitter to Bob Davie if they don't come out of this with something.
Look at the penalties. 9 penalties. And some of them have come at critical times. The 25-second clock is on the scoreboard at the end of the field. Now to see it this close to the end zone,
it's hard to see it.
Yeah, Ron's got to look up pretty good.
Ball comes back to the 9-yard line, and Spencer and Driver are lined up behind him. On 3rd and goal from the 9. He's got open field. Throws. Intercepted.
Keith?
Well, they were closing on him. He might not have made it. But Michigan stopped him.
Ron Paulus talking to Jim Coletto, telling him that I was trying to make a play. I thought for sure I was going to have it. Holloway's going to come across, and 41 is going to cover him eventually. Now he's going to avoid it, second out, stop it right here, right there. Look at this. He sees this. That's all he sees. He doesn't see number 41, Hendricks. But Hendricks is going to make the play. Paulus thought he had a touchdown. If he would have thrown it a little bit higher and a little bit more in front of him, I think he would have had it.
Now the Michigan offense better get the defense some rest here as Chris Howard runs the football, and not for much. A couple of yards and that'll do it. But the defense has been out there for a long time now, and they've been fighting for their life. And the Michigan offense needs to step up here now, not only give them some rest, but get the ball back up the field.
Yep.
And keep Notre Dame away, because the Irish have not surrendered. There's a lot of time, 10 minutes to play.
And that's a tough interception, because Paulus was trying to make a play. He thought he had it, and he threw the ball, and Hendricks just cut in front of him, made a nice play.
2nd down and 7. Behind the line of scrimmage. Penalty flag. Personal foul, Notre Dame.
It's a late hit by one of the Irish, Keith, is what they called. Bob's not happy about it.
The penalty puts the ball 1st down Michigan out on their 32-yard line. That could mean, it could define the outcome of this ball game. That penalty. Notre Dame is at 10 for 92 yards. This is Clarence Williams carrying out across the 35 to the 36. Pick up of about 4 yards on the play.
Let's go back to that last play, Keith, and take a look and see where the penalty may have come. At 53 right there is Bryant. And 4, I mean, he was already on the ground. That's obviously what he calls.
Yep. He was on the ground before Miner fell on him.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. He was on the ground when Bryant fell on him.
Yep. 2nd down and 6. It's Russell Shaw dropping the football. Notre Dame says they've got it. Was it a complete pass?
Oh, yeah. Shaw
It was, and it is Notre Dame. Michigan gives it right back to him at the 42-yard line.
We played 3 quarters without any turnovers. And then in the last 5 minutes, we've had 3.
But Johnny Saunders got all over it.
I think Nix is going to knock it out. No, it comes out before.
Came out, he just dropped it.
Yeah, he dropped it.
And Nix and Saunders both got on. And so it's Michigan turnovers haunting them now, 2 in the last 2 possessions. And Notre Dame with another chance, 21-14. Michigan leads, 8:46 to play. And Autry Denson is back in the backfield.
Notre Dame has had the ball 16 more minutes than Michigan.
Weathers, quarterback on a blitz, ran down the quarterback. Here's John Saunders.
Keith, time for the Burger King play of the day, and for the 3rd consecutive week, it involves Iowa's Tavian Banks. Just 31 yards on this little fake reverse, 835 yards on the season, and 12 touchdowns. Keith.
Hawkeyes are going to Ohio State, however, in the next journey. That play run by Denson to the right side, cuts it back for about 4 yards. Not less than that. So it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Notre Dame, Keith, has had 2 opportunities, 2 gifts. They've gotten the ball inside the 50-yard line on their last 2 possessions. They moved it down and didn't get anything out of their last drive. They need to get something here.
Well, this has got to be Paulus's play. It's 3rd down and 6. Deep drop. Knocked down by Marcus Ray. Could have intercepted it. Almost did. And it's 4th down. Intended for Bobby Brown.
Here's a call here. What do you do? If you're Bob Davie, you're on the, 38-yard line. You're down by 7.
Yep. They're going to punt it. Try to pin them deep. 7 minutes and 21 seconds to play.
Watch a fake here.
They're also thinking field position. Michigan's offense, after having a big 3rd quarter, has been quiet for the last 2 possessions. Certainly, that's too long. That's too long. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line where it'll be 1st down. 38-yard punt and too long by about 2 yards. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the all-new Chevy Venture. The Venture is here. Let's go. By Microsoft. Where do you want to go today? By Velo from Philips Magnavox. The power of a computer in the palm of your hand. And Lucent Technologies. We make the things that make communications work. The Goodyear blimp Stars and Stripes. Captain Dick Ash and his crew providing the pictures from up in the blue. Goodyear blimp.
7 minutes, 12 seconds to go. The Irish defenders are saying we knocked it loose the last 2 possessions. Let's do it again. Michigan offensively says hang on to the football and make some 1st downs. Let's get a drive going.
Chris Floyd comes out as a single back now. And you go double wide to the bottom of the picture. You've got 2 tight ends out on the field. You got a penalty flag out of the referee's pocket on the 1st snap. So the Michigan offense is very, very ragged right now. It's either fatigue, a lack of concentration, they can't hear, there's something wrong. They're just simply not clicking right now. And that's an illegal procedure call against the offense. 5 yards against the Wolverines.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat. 1st down.
1st down and 15. Here's Swanning.
Keith, the Michigan offense is not clicking, but what has not been working all day is a running game up the middle. When their big senior came back at center, Adamy, last week they ran up the middle consistently against Baylor. They tried to do it here against Notre Dame with no success. They've got to take a chance here, keep the ball on the outside, steal the short pass in the air is their best bet, Keith.
1st and 15. And penalty flags, the ball rolling on the ground. But it's covered by the Wolverines. Adamy, the center, got it. Snap did not come off cleanly. And it looks like another penalty on Michigan. Is. Well, now the Wolverines are threatening to unravel in the late going.
Ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. 1st down.
That's concentration.
Well, the ball, the center quarterback exchange wasn't good either, Keith. This is
that's also concentration.
No, you're right. You got to hold your poise right here. You backed up. You fumbled the last couple of times you've had the ball. Somebody needs to make a play here for the Wolverines.
They don't want to throw it. Give it to Chris Howard. And Howard is going to get it out to about the 14 and stop there. They've got to go to the 30 for their 1st down. So they'll be looking at 3rd and about 5. And from here now, your perspective can change.
Yes. Now you're in range that you can pick up a 1st down, 3rd and 5 or 6. Chris Howard, tough, running back, reliable. It's who you want carrying the football late in the ball game.
All right, Chris Floyd is the deep man. Clarence Williams is in at a slot. He's a running back and a very good receiver. And they'll go back into the shotgun on 3rd down and a full 5.
Quick kick.
Nope.
Nope. Something was going on.
Something was wrong, and so they called timeout. They got one left at 5:16 to play in the game. (21-14) ball game. Michigan is leading Notre Dame with 5:16 to play. For those of you out on the West Coast, you'll get the second half of the doubleheader next. Right after we're through here, Southern California and the California Golden Bears are going to play out where the sun goes down. I want to thank Catherine Morrison for her treat. 90-year-old mama of Bobby Morrison made us the biggest rhubarb pie you've ever seen in your life.
Was that good?
And it was wonderful. So 3rd down and 5, and out of the shotgun. And a fight for it. The handoff got away. And Notre Dame's got the football. And the Michigan offense has come apart in the last 3 possessions.
Trying to run a draw from a shotgun situation. Let's check it out. The ball hits the elbow of the running back. It's Floyd. Quarterback needs to get it down below there. They were awfully close on the exchange.
We think Jimmy Friday recovered it. And here is a golden opportunity for the Irish.
Michigan is giving Notre Dame every opportunity to score here.
1st down from the 28 of Michigan. Denson putting every ounce of energy he had into that. Picks up 8 yards down to about the 21.
In the second half, Notre Dame has had the ball 5 times. They've punted the first 3 times they had it. And look, the last 2 they started on the Michigan side of the field on the 47 and the 42. The first one was intercepted. The second one they had to punt.
They're now in a position with the time on the clock. If they go down, they'll have to make a decision on whether or not to try to win it or just to tie it. I would guess they would just tie it if they can. Wallace gives the ball back to Denson, and he's wrapped at the 20, so he's short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.
Brian on the sideline, he knows it's the quarterback's responsibility to get the ball to the running back.
Tim Ritter, big old tight end, a 300-pounder from Omaha, has come in now for Notre Dame at the right tight end position, so they've got 3 tackles over there. That's probably where they're going to go on 3rd down and 2. Denson goes that way, and he's hit. Eric Mays hit him in the backfield. And then he was pinned by Marcus Ray, and they're looking at 4th down.
Here's a big play right here, Keith. Take your time out. Get a good play call. That's smart.
Irish spend the timeout. So they will have 1 left. 3.5 minutes to play in the game. Well, Michigan trying to ride the back of the defense now and hold on. Notre Dame with 3.5 minutes to play owns the football. 4th down and 2 at the 20-yard line.
They've been successful only 1 of 5 times on 4th down this year, Notre Dame.
Denson is the deep back. Crowd getting into it.
Checking off.
Denson. He did not make it.
the Irish in the first half. The offensive line has been shut down in the second half. The defensive line of Michigan was manhandled in the first half. They've stood the test here in the second. Here's the pit. Renas is the nose tackle. Williams and Steele. Sword is there. Hall comes around.
So the Wolverines have dodged the cannonball. Now let's see if they can handle the ball. Not giving it back. This is Clarence Williams. Dodged one man at the 20 and turns it upfield for a 5-yard pickup.
The last 3 possessions for Michigan have all resulted in a fumble on their side of the 50-yard line. And that affects the team, Keith. You darn well sure believe that Michigan is thinking about don't fumble the ball, don't drop it.
And you know that Notre Dame is thinking about it.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we do something with those breaks?
Yeah. Well, they're saying if we could get it out the last 3 times, we'll get another one out.
It'll be called 2nd down and 4. The ball is just over the 25. 2:45 remaining to play. 21-14, Michigan leading. This is Chris Howard. All the way to the Notre Dame 47-yard line. A huge individual effort by Chris Howard.
You got that right, Keith. This play was supposed to follow the guard. It was supposed to be here. He starts, and then he cuts it all the way back to the right side. The guard pulls. It's supposed to be a trap to the outside. Floyd's going that way, and he cuts back against the grain.
That is a 27-yard gain. It is the longest rush of the day for Michigan. Here's Howard again. And a penalty flag is thrown back where perhaps the quarterback was roughed. No, it's a call against Michigan for holding. The way the ball was thrown, I thought perhaps it could have been a rough, but nope. There was a Wolverine holding on.
10 yards, spot on the ball.
In the process of blocking, and the big run by Chris Howard is lost. But at 2:02 to play in the game, even with the penalty, they may have gained just enough on Howard's efforts to stay afloat.
Well, what Michigan wants to do is make first downs and use up the clock. Now, 1st and 20, it's going to be tough to do that. Notre Dame has a timeout left.
1st and 22, actually, because of the spot of the foul, it became a 12-yard penalty. And we're inside 2 minutes. The ball at the 41. This is Clarence Williams. And he loses his footing as he turns it upfield. Well, picks up about 2 yards.
He got outside there, Keith, and he says, one thing I don't want to do is go out of bounds and stop the clock. So that's why he was cutting it back inside.
Now the Irish have to spend their last timeout. And they stop the clock at 1:41 to play.
A new set of academic standards for freshmen is now in effect.
To practice, play, and receive an athletic scholarship, freshmen will need a minimum grade point average in at least 13 core courses in high school and a corresponding minimum score on the ACT or SAT. Ask your coach or guidance counselor about the new sliding scale and requirements.
Prepare yourself now. You want to play? Know the rules.
This message provided by the NCAA.
John Crack wrote a book called Natural Enemies on the Notre Dame Michigan football series. Entertaining. I read some of it last night. And you watch the war, the struggle, the intensity, the effort between these two teams over the years. It's about as good as any. They don't play every year, however. And they have not played in the series since '94. And though Michigan came in as a heavy favorite among those who are interested in such things, It hasn't turned out to be quite the walk that had been forecast.
I don't think Michigan was as good as most people thought they were, or I don't think Notre Dame was as bad.
No. Here's Howard again, and he's become the individual star all of a sudden. On that 2nd down and 19 carry, he gets it back over on the Notre Dame side to the Irish 48-yard line, where Benny Gilbo brought him down.
What Michigan wants to do now is just make sure you take all the time you can off of the clock before you snap the ball. Notre Dame has no timeouts left.
Snaps it on 2 seconds on the play clock. This is Howard again. Boy, he's turned into something the last 3 or 4 times he's
tough inside runner. Yes, sir. Very reliable.
Our coordinating producer of ABC's college football is Tony Tortorisi. Today's game produced by Jay Rothman, directed by Chip Dean. TD is Gary Larkins. Associate producer Margaret Schaefer. Associate director Fred King. Production manager Scott Silverman. Tech ops Jim Licata. Chapman Downs, Jason Lewis, assistant producer Mark Amento, our statistician, and Kelly Hayes, our spotter.
Michigan letting the clock run down. Should be 13 seconds or 14 seconds on the clock. Brian standing right next to the referee.
And now they'll call a timeout, and that is Michigan's last, and the clock stops at 13 seconds to play. And our Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Ron Paulus for Notre Dame. Ron was 20 of 27, 205 yards and a touchdown, one pick. Michigan's Sam Sword had 15 tackles in the ball game. He was all over the place. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students. And so you look back at this one and you put it right into the book with the rest of them. Didn't quite go like everybody thought it might, but there were some people, the game, and listening and talking to people who really knew what these two teams were all about, I think the game has gone just about how they thought it might go.
Yeah, as I said, those of us who knew Notre Dame wasn't as bad as their record may have indicated, nor Michigan maybe wasn't as good as being the #1 team in the nation defensively in several different categories. I mean, this was going to be a different test for them.
Well, the matchup was totally different from the 2 previous games, too. Physically, it was quite striking.
I mean, why can't Colorado throw against Michigan, but Notre Dame can? No sacks today for Notre Dame.
There's another Michigan team up the road that's pretty good, too.
They may try and pull them off
Michigan State.
There it is.
And they win it, and guess what?
That's a surprise, huh?
Chris Howard gets the first down.
Lloyd Carr on the sideline. I think they had their punting team in there. I think Notre Dame had their punting team in there, and Michigan ran their offense back out.
And ran out the clock.
Great call by Lloyd Carr.
So the Michigan Wolverines continue undefeated, winning their 3rd game of the season. Notre Dame will fall to 1-3. Your final score in Ann Arbor before a crowd of 106,508, 21-14, Michigan.